come into play. Ooh. This is the first one in our ABS Challenge era. Will that play in this game? That's what I'm watching. 2021.
What's up, guys? I know it's been a while since I've done a live because the Hornets and Hurricanes are about to start the Hornets were in their play-in the other night, and the Hurricanes are starting the playoff run. And the Braves, they're all on at virtually the same time, so I have not done a lot. So that's why I haven't done it. We've got a very special something happening in Cleveland right now through 6 innings for Parker Messick. It does make what the Braves could or couldn't do against Parker feel a little bit better. Let me share this real quick.
Introducing Gatorade Lower Sugar. No artificial colors, no artificial flavors, no artificial sweeteners, and 75% less sugar.
But the Braves off to a fantastic start. Haven't lost a series, even though we won the first 2 against Arizona, and then dropped the next 2. That doesn't feel like as bad of series split now because Arizona has heated up with all their injuries, so that is very impressive for them as well. But the starting rotation has definitely held its own. Obviously, Spencer Strider starting tonight in Rome. The last time I checked, 3 innings, shutout ball, 3 Ks, and a couple on a slider. So trending, and Sean Murphy trending as well. Hit his first one to the wall. So that's encouraging. Dom Smith, absolutely incredible. His starts, especially with 2 strikes and 2 outs, the bottom of the order, Mauricio Dubon has been phenomenal. So a lot of things are going right, and people are going to say the strength of schedule, this, that, and the other, but the A's are at the top of the AL West right now. They did sweep the Mets. And then obviously the Angels hit a bajillion homers, and we were able to take 2 out of 3 after Soriano shut us down. Soriano looks like a premium Cy Young Award candidate right now. So again, the games that we have lost are against pitchers that have really been pretty dominant to start the year. The Yuri Perez one's probably the annoying one that you don't like, just because we had a lot of chances. I think we're 3 for 12 with runners in scoring position in that game, and Grant Holmes just didn't have it. So that's probably the only annoying one. The rest of them, it feels like you kind of tip your cap, and the goal is always to win series, and we certainly have done that. We haven't lost the series yet. Really good. Off day. We do have to figure out that mop-up duty or the middle relief to try to keep us in a ball game. I think that's a little up in the air with Suarez struggling. Vito struggled last night and was sent out. So I think that's the one bugaboo in the bullpen right now is that idea of who's gonna mop up. Dylan Dodd was really good 3-inning save and the 13-1 thrashing of the Guardians. So that was fun. And that was good. That could be the guy. We also called up Ian Hamilton today. He did struggle in spring training. I don't know, excuse me, if he found anything necessarily in AAA. But he's a little bit more of a veteran, so maybe that will help. But ultimately, I think when we get a guy like Strider back and maybe put a guy like Martin Perez in that longer relief role, maybe that could work. But right now, I think that's pretty much the only thing that is in question. Riley's coming out of it. Ronald's still not Ronald, but still deep counts. Ozzy's looking really good. Yaz is coming out of it too. He had some clutch stuff in the Miami series. So you love that for sure. There's just a lot of really good stuff, and I like that fact that Walt Weiss is really aggressive. When he sees a win, he goes and tries to rip it and get it. The Aaron Bummer thing at $9.5 million, that's going to be a tough pull the plug type of thing, but I don't think we're that far away from it. Just because he's at 89, 90 miles an hour and not 92 to 94 like he was the first year we got him, it just feels like it's a trickle down, and he doesn't have a lot of margin for error, and I use that term a lot, but just to kind of that's the one area of the team right now that obviously you'd like it to be a little bit better, but you can't complain too much at all. The Royals are struggling, but they have amazing pitching, so that was a good series. The comebacks, the fights is different. The vibes are different. It feels really, really good. And I think that Ronaldo Lopez fighting through bad couple of innings and still fighting through 5 was huge in the Miami series to set up the series win, obviously. Bryce Elder has been phenomenal. I guess that chat with Greg Maddux has really helped big time. So you take that and you go with it and just ride it as long as you can. And they're really good at bats. For the Braves lineup, you see adjustments for the most part, and they're effective adjustments too. You see it mid-game, like with Paddock and that changeup, and Drake Baldwin adjusting and continues to be phenomenal. 19 RBIs, I believe, to start the year. And we're making the pitchers work and not striking out and giving us a lot of chances, which is really nice. And the times we've struck out a lot, it's in latter games where we're ahead and things of that nature. So I think that's my favorite trend so far, is that we're not striking out a ton. Obviously, you would rather have strikeouts than double plays and things, but we've done a nice job of staying out of that as well. The base running has calmed down after a rough start. Riley's got 3 stolen bases. Money Mike, Ronald has gotten better there as well. So I think that is working. Also, give a big shout out to Tommy Watkins, the third base coach. We haven't really talked about him a lot, which usually means a really good thing. When you don't talk about a third base coach like that, that means everything is going swimmingly that way. And the first and third
the psychological warfare
And the
late timeout. No, I'm gonna argue on the hitter's side of this. One, you're told to get engaged with
very first and third.
8 seconds.
Very good at first and third so far.
I can control that. Timeout, I'm not ready. But I have to look at you to be ready. He looked at him, that's why but he's not ready.
As well, so there's just so much good, and you know there's going to be a bad stretch in here, but probably because that's the nature of baseball, but it feels like there's more of a ability to be slump proof for this team than in years past, because you have a lot more versatility and abilities to give guys day off if they're struggling. Obviously, with Eli White's plantar fasciitis issue, that's ate into it a little bit. But even Jorge Mateo had a 4-hit game at the bottom of the order on Sunday night against the Guardians. That element of speed. So all of the moves, that things that were questioned are really working out really, really well. Obviously, will Dom Smith continue at a 381 pace with 15 RBIs? Probably not. But you know he's going to give you a tough at-bat and going to be a tough out for the most part, even if it doesn't exactly work out. And that's what you're getting from Ronald right now. Tons of 3-ball counts, tons of hard luck, like just missing pitches. You've got Riley. He hit his first homer last night and then went the opposite field off the bricks. And when he starts to do that, you know Riley is going to be in a good place. So I love that as well. And again, you got Strider working back, and that could really solve the fifth spot rotation yo-yo, as it were, as well. I don't know if that does, but maybe that shifts Martin Perez into the longer relief role, and we saw him do a pretty solid job for Suarez, 4 1/3 shutout against the A's. I know the A's have struggled offensively at times this year, but that's the type of thing you could possibly need and possibly see helping out in a big way there. But like Walt Weiss has become quickly the perfect man for the job, and I was very surprised by the pitchforky type of reaction to him getting hired, because he was with the Colorado Rockies, and I don't think you can quantify a good, bad manager with the Colorado Rockies. Right now, I know they're working towards getting out of the doldrums, but there wasn't a lot of help for Walt Weiss, and coming in from coaching high school football to that job is a tough transition, and this transition felt seamless with him being with Brian Sticker for 8 years and it shifting to the managerial role. It really feels like he's done a really nice job with it. I mean, you can question moves, but I think I've only questioned 1 or 2 so far, and obviously whether they work out or not, but I really have been very impressed in how he's deployed the pinch hitters, and I think everybody understands that, and understands when it might happen, and just to be prepared, and everybody's bought in. You saw that with the brawl between Jorge Soler and Ronaldo Lopez, and Jorge Soler being perfectly tackled by Walt Weiss, making that situation so much less damaging than it could have been. So awesome in that case. So I'm so happy. Obviously, it's only a 19 game sample size. And obviously, you can really say that it's early, but the vibes really, really feel differently. And for teams like the Mets and the Phillies, they're fine because it's early, but you don't want to dig yourself a big time hole. And I feel like they might be. And you got the Astros. The Astros are like the 2025 Braves. Everybody's injured. Blue Jays, same thing. Milwaukee, same type of thing. You're fine because it's early, but you don't want to dig yourself such a big hole that you can't get out of it, that a 10-game winning streak isn't going to help you. And that's where the Braves were last year. And the Mets, the Phillies, although I think the Phillies will be fine because they definitely have reinforcements and things of that nature, even though if they don't hit the ball out of the ballpark, they're not scoring runs. And there's a varied way for the Braves. We've won, I think, 4 games this year when we haven't hit a homer, and that's not a typical trend for the Braves, so that is kind of nice as well. And I feel like that's really clutch and key for the team to realize that you can score in different ways. And I think we've created that identity as well with the base running, the first and thirding. Obviously, there's some base running blunders early on that you don't like, but creating that identity is solid as well because the homers are there. Matt Olson leads the Major League Baseball. And extra base hits. So it's a patient and powerful, and with the bottom of the order the way it is, kind of the Martin Prados of it all, and Matt Diaz, got a little bit of Matt Diaz and Dom Smith with a little bit more power, or at least in my mind. I think it's really nice. And once Ronald becomes completely Ronald, this could be insane offensive production. Now, it'll be interesting to see if the pitching staff can continue to be as solid as it is despite all the injuries and the depth. Because obviously you think there's some regression gonna happen, but as long as the pitching staff keeps us in the ball games, you're not gonna hate that at all. You're really not going to, and that's fantastic for sure. And I'm really happy that you can just you win in different ways, and understanding the back end of the bullpen is phenomenal. Once you figure out the middle relief and the that kind of thing, I think the Braves are going to be in a really solid spot, and they already are, because the joy, the Bobby Cox mantra was always win series, and we have, and there's just so much good and positive with Chris Sale. He had a clunker against the Angels, but dealing with sickness and things of that nature, and Sale's been the ace of all aces. And I think with the back end of the bullpen and that four-headed monster of Iglesias, Suarez, Lee, and Kinley, I think you say four-headed monster, and it's an underrated four-headed monster, I think. And I think it's fantastic in that way. And I think it's just going to keep getting better. And the fact that we've turned, I believe, 22 double plays and 16, a double play in 16 straight. And our infield is is always on its toes and doing its thing. So that is even better. And I feel like this is. I mean, could we have won a couple more games here or there? Yeah, but this start to the season is about as perfect as it possibly could be in terms of 13 straight games. And then a day off, and then 6 straight, and then a day off. It's been a pretty hectic and grueling start to the season, and to be where we are right now, absolutely fantastic. Obviously, we're going into the division gauntlet facing Philly, Washington, and I think Philly again or Washington again, something weird like that. So division, we can kind of create separation if we continue on this pace and just take one game at a time. But trust the process, and we have certainly done that so far. And the pitching is gonna come back, and like I said, Strider. Let me check the update for Strider here.
And get same-day coverage.
Check your price today at ethos.com.
Did I love making full send diving catches? You bet your season tickets I did. Know what else is bat flipping awesome? If you want that flying through the air sort of feeling, then you have to call so they can help you save money on car repairs. Maybe you hate saving money. It's possible. People still like yacht rock. Plus, they've been around for over 20 years.
Pretty good.
Older than those rookies. Get off the bench and into the money-saving game with CarShield. Now that's flipping awesome.
When I was diagnosed,
Pretty good start for Strider. Some said he missed too high in the zone. Obviously, it's A-ball, so it's kind of hard to judge because it is Spencer Strider versus A-ball. But a definite solid start and step in the right direction. But I think they said 4 or 5 for Spencer to the up downs and to increase the pitch count. Plus obliques are very tenuous, and you don't want to get those wrong at all. But I mean, I don't think you could have scripted a better start for the Braves. And I'm really excited about that. And just the underappreciated stuff that has already popped up this year is awesome. And I think the understanding that baseball's hard and not in the mindset of not overthinking it, and yes, there's some guys that are struggling, but there's still good deep at bats in there and still doing something positive every single game. And to know that when this whole entire lineup gets rolling, it could be very, very, very scary. And I think that a guy like Jeremy Hefner needs to be shouted out, because obviously with all the depth and pitching concerns, to be the top ERA team right now, these guys are professionals, but he must be saying some magic words that I don't even think any of Braves fans that follow this team very, very closely I think that it's insane to predicted this great of a start pitching staff wise, and tip of the cap to Jeremy Hefner, and once again thanks to the Mets for that. And I think that it's also important to say, do not you can't just sign guys to sign guys. They have to fit. And I think the Braves did a fantastic job of finding guys that fit the culture and what this team needed, versatility and roster wise and things of that nature. And kind of just obviously the profile of it all and forgetting about the profile of it all and just moving on and saying the right things, obviously, and just understanding that they need to want to be here and be great. And they have been, and they understand the process, they understand their roles, and it's really working out so far. It's been fantastic to watch, and really understanding that and not being blown out at all for pretty much. I mean, the Marlins game 10-4, but to understand
of the Mariners
and build that, even though only 19 games in, it feels really, 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 really good. And Alex Anthopoulos and company need their high praise for it, and I hope they're getting it. And I hope we can just continue to stack the W's and stack the series wins and keep rolling with the positive vibes. But just to know that you can't just wake up and get wins. You got to work hard for them. And last year it was kind of a wake up call, even though it was the most unlucky year ever. It kind of hit the reset button for everybody to realize that baseball won't wait around for you and will humble you, but understand that the goal is to win as many baseball games as possible, which is fantastic. It really is, and I really appreciate that, and that's the ultimate compliment for the first Wild.
He's pitching into the seventh while giving up a nod. His 11th career start.
So I'm really excited about that. I know nobody came to watch or hang out, but I wanted to do one real quick. But that's pretty much all I got. But as always, go Braves, champions forever. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, helps out a lot. Thanks, guys.
You got 2 hits tonight, though. Swing it, Steven Kwan. I know, but hey, I'm happy for him. All right, you know what? Let's go to break. There's Parker.